This is a brief demo to show how to use some basic functions in Excel to go from NetID to email address and from email address back to NetID. It's pretty straightforward to do. What we're going to start with, here's our spreadsheet, and I'm viewing it at a pretty blown up way, but I'm still going to make more room by closing the ribbon. You don't really need the ribbon for this demonstration. And then I'm going to immediately save this file as with some name. I'm going to call it technology demo. You should save your work pretty often. That's one quick immediate lesson. Okay, here is my header row, and I'm going to format the header row. I'm right-clicking, so I'm going to click Format Cells, and on the font, I want this to be bold. So we've now made the headers bold, and the first header I'm going to call root, and the next one I'm going to call number. My NetID is LRVAN, and I am going to use that as the root of all the NetIDs I make. So I don't know how many we'll make. Let's try down to here. And then the number, I'm going to start with 0, and I'm going to increase these numbers by 50. So this is equal to B2 plus 50. And then we're going to copy this, and this is a recursion now, so we get this recursively up to 1,000, and now I'm going to make NetIDs as a combination of the root and the number, so I am going to concatenate A2 and B2, and let's see if that works. LRVAN 0. Okay, and then I'm going to just do this again recursively, and so we've now got all these different LRVANs. And the reason I'm doing this, so there's no mystery here, I don't really want to use anybody else's NetID, but also I want these NetIDs to be of different lengths to show you that manipulating different length is no big deal. So now we want to make an email address out of this, and we've already seen how that might be done. So here's email, but the trick here is I am going to not put this in the email column just yet. I'm going to put it over here, and I'm going to concatenate equals, let's spell concatenate, and now we're in C2, and the syntax, if you want to concatenate with a text string, is you put quotes around the text string. So this is at illinois.edu, and so my text string is in quotes, and now I've concatenated it this way. So now it looks like I've got an email address, and I just copy this and paste it all here. Now, why didn't I put this in the email column? And the answer is this is now in formula form. I want these email addresses to actually be a text string, so I'm going to copy all of this. Oops. And I'm going to paste. No, it didn't copy. Let's try it again. Copy all of this, and I'm going to paste. I have to right click to do this. I want to paste special and paste values. And when I do that, now if I click in any one of these, you see up here, this is the actual text string. So I don't need this anymore, and I can delete that column. And now I have the actual email addresses over here. Okay, so now we want to go back to NetID. If we can spell back to NetID from the email address. And this is a little bit trickier, but it's not that much harder. We're going to use some other commands. And the key thing is to count the number of characters that are including the @ sign. So @ is 1, ILLINOIS, that's 8, I believe. The dot's 9, and EDU, so I think that's 12 characters completely. So what we write here is left D2. So that's going to take the text that's in the left part of the string, and the question is how many characters should we take, and we're going to take the length of D2, so that's the total number of characters, minus 12. And if we counted right, and sometimes you have to do this twice because counting is not easy, but if you do it right, so maybe I need to do minus 13. So let's try minus 13, and there we go. And so if we do it that way, we get back to the NetIDs. And again, this is in formula form, so if I really wanted to do this right, I would copy and then paste special, and I'm right-clicking here when I do that, values, and I would move this over back to NetID, move it over here, and then delete this column. And so there you have it. This ability to move forward and backwards from NetID to email address is quite convenient in doing any of your gradebook manipulations. So let's call it a stop there.